welcome to this week's episode of Catch Up with Kai and Cohen. I'm Kai.
And I'm Cohen.
And I'm back from Greece.
Yeah, I was just talking about what's been going on that I don't think it's up yet, but I made a solo episode just because I wanted to keep the schedule.
Yeah.
We changed it to twice a week.
Yeah.
I wanted to go on without missing a single episode. So it'll probably be up before this. It's not that great. It's like 10 minutes.
So the solo episode is going up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I still have to like edit it, and by the time that it's edited, this one will go after that one, so it would match up the schedule still without missing a single podcast.
Okay, gotcha. What'd you talk about on the solo episode?
So I talked about for whoever's listening. Now I know there's a few other people listening. I talked about BTS.
Oh,
Yeah. How BTS literally changed my life.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So if anyone who's listening to this episode from the last episode, you'd know. But anyways.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that 12-minute episode.
But how's your trip to Greece?
So Greece was awesome. I mean, I've traveled a little bit. I don't think I've traveled as much as you. I haven't traveled like a ton, but I've traveled a little bit. And I can confidently say this was the best trip of my life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this was truly life-changing for me personally, for many reasons. And it's not because of Greece. It's because of the stage of life that I'm in right now, the circumstances around me. But being in such a beautiful place definitely helped.
Yeah.
I loved Greece. Yeah, I love Greece.
Yeah.
It felt like home to me.
Yeah.
Like it felt like, like Canada. We live in Canada. Canada's really cold.
It's pretty damn cold.
Yeah, for Asian immigrants like ourselves. I don't know about you, but I don't do well with the cold. I don't do super well with the cold.
Mm-hmm. What made it so good?
What made Greece so good for me was I kind of went on like a personal journey on this trip in Greece. So first of all, the reason I was in Greece was because my sister got married. So congratulations to her. Hope everything works out. Yeah, I'm excited for their future. She's on vacation right now. I hope she's having a great time.
Where is she actually?
I think today she landed in Italy.
Oh, very
Yeah,
good.
so we were all in Greece together, and then she stayed in. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to buy you a souvenir. My sister's still there, so I texted her, and she's gonna pick up some stuff.
From Greece?
No, from Italy.
Oh, okay.
So you'll get some Italian
Word,
souvenirs
word.
instead of some Greek souvenirs.
True. Okay.
And then my mom bought a bunch of fridge magnets for like coworkers and stuff, so I'll try to snag one from her for you. Yeah, so I was there for my sister's wedding, and it was awesome. One of the most fun weddings I've been to. I sent you some pictures of like where we were staying.
Look pretty sick.
Yeah. We a bunch of us, the family, went pretty ham on the decorations.
Like the wedding decorations?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
okay.
the pictures that I sent you, those were all set up by us. We didn't have
really?
we didn't have like a wedding planner or whatever, like any help setting all that stuff up.
Oh wait, what? Literally?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, all that stuff, like all of those all the flowers, candles, like everything you saw in those pictures.
Yeah.
Aside from like, the tables and chairs.
Yeah.
Those were already at the house. At the
Like
houses.
was this a wedding venue or was it some?
No, so we rented out 2 villas that
Yeah.
were right next to each other.
Yeah.
Basically one property connected. It has 2 villas on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like our home base, and we set up everything there. So we had like photographers
Yeah.
and like the person officiating the wedding,
Yeah.
but all of the like props and stuff that you saw, that was all us.
Wait, that's such a good idea. You can just book out 2 like Airbnbs.
Yeah.
And then just design, organize, and host your own wedding without having to go through the venue process.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, there are difficulties with it, since it's like a destination wedding, it's hard to get people out there.
No, of course. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like if this was like something you wanted to scale to locally, totally doable.
Yeah. Wow.
And good news to our listeners, I'm not sick anymore. The Greek air cured so many things for me. I'm not sick anymore. I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I was telling you earlier about this, but I fucking found myself on the beaches of Greek with a souvlaki in one hand and a Lux in the other. That's me.
Yeah. no, you told me. So Greek salad, you think was your favorite food there?
Oh, my favorite food.
Or okay, yeah, what's your
Well,
favorite?
I mean,
food?
so I've never been like a big salad guy. I like Greek salad because it has cheese in it, and the vinaigrette is yummy. But I'm like not really one to order salad ever. Even at home, when my mom makes like Greek salad or like someone makes Greek salad, I wouldn't make Greek salad. I'm like not incredibly excited about it. But the Greek salad I had in Greece, oh my god, that like the most flavorful tomato. Like, have you ever like eaten tomatoes and been like, wow, damn, this is a good tomato?
Very rarely.
If you say yes, I'm gonna call cap on that.
No, very rarely, I'd say.
You know what? I'm gonna call it when.
Yeah.
When did you eat a tomato and think like, damn, this is a good tomato?
When I dip it on sugar.
When you dip it on sugar.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's like what you're making ketchup.
yeah, no, it's really good actually.
What? Wait, speaking of which, I think I told you about this before. Have you tried like oranges or mandarin with salt?
No, I haven't.
That's
Yeah,
a banger.
yeah.
You should do that. That's legit.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll give it a
orange,
go.
and for our listeners, orange and mandarin with salt, and apparently tomatoes with sugar.
Yeah. One of our friends actually showed me that.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a little kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, our friends. So I think I know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking
our
about.
friend,
Then.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the tomato. Like I've never in my life, even with the most delicious pizza in front of me,
Yeah.
thought, wow, these are some bomb ass tomatoes. Like delicious tomatoes. Tomatoes are always an afterthought for me, you know. But in this Greek salad, multiple Greek salads. It's not like I just had one, but multiple occasions Greek salads. There was not a single one that was bad. And the one I got in Athens, I don't remember what. You know what? Next episode, I'm gonna say all of the, because I don't have it with me right now, but I'm gonna compile a list of like all the 6 spots, like food spots I went to Greece. I
Was it
went to
random,
Greece.
or did you pick out before? Did you know that you wanted to go to this specific spot?
No, yeah, it was random. Well,
Okay.
not like completely random. Like for example, like so I stayed next to, our home base was just outside of this town called Loutraki, I think. Yeah, that was our home base, and like basically whenever we were in town to like get food, it would usually be like park somewhere and like walk around. Sometimes I would like look up some place and like in Google Maps and go there, but most of the time it was just find a spot at the park, then start walking around. Because the whole town it's not massive, you know. It's like probably can get end to end in the town in 15 minutes of driving.
Oh,
20 minutes
really?
of
Wait,
driving.
what?
Yeah,
It's tiny.
yeah, it's a small town.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe not that small. Maybe like 20, 30 minutes of driving, you can get like from end to end of the town. I think the population was something like, I'm not gonna guess, but okay, I got 2 guesses in my mind. Either 60K or 200K. It's one of those, close to those.
That's a pretty drastic difference, though.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
yeah.
But yeah, didn't really like plan places to eat. It was a lot of spur of the moment. But yeah, like I got Greek salad at a couple places in Loutraki, got Greek salad at 2 places in Athens, and every single Greek salad I got, it was awesome. It was so good. There was like one place where the feta cheese, I think this was probably like the cheaper way to do it, but the feta cheese was like a flat block on top of the salad, and then we had to like cut it up ourselves and like mix it and stuff. And another one, usually it was just like the feta cheese was already in the salad. But yeah, back to the tomatoes.
Wait, but you had Opa, right? Like the Greek fast food.
Oh, yeah,
How's
over
it
here.
compared to?
Oh,
compared
dude,
to
I mean,
Opa?
I don't think Opa is that bad.
Yeah.
Opa's like okay, but it's honestly a world of difference. Even where we live in Canada, you know, Canada's a really big place. In the prairies, we got a lot of farmland, so we have access to fresh food. Even if you don't live in the prairies, on the coast, you have fresh seafood available. All across Canada, I'm pretty sure you have really good quality beef available. But the quality of food that I've had here does not compare to the quality of food I had consistently in Greece.
In what way? Like freshness?
Yeah. Like, as I was saying, those tomatoes were bomb. The onions, so flavorful. The cucumbers, delicious.
Yeah.
Everything about, I mean, I'm just talking about Greek salad here, but Greek salad was so awesome. Then I had like some souvlaki. I'm a huge souvlaki fan. Over here, there are a lot in Canada. Like there are a lot of Mediterranean spots. I think Mediterranean type food is one of the cuisines that's, in my opinion, pretty common in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it actually? I don't know. I have no
Wouldn't you
idea.
say so? Because we got shawarmas everywhere. We got donairs. I mean, donair is basically like a Canadian, like national
It
Canadian
was
food.
from like it was from like Halifax, was it not? Like Nova
Yeah,
Scotia or
yeah,
something.
yeah. That donair was invented. I mean, like invented.
Yeah.
Created in Halifax.
Yeah.
But it's quite closely related to like a doner kebab or shawarma or something like that. So I personally would say there's quite a lot of access to Mediterranean food in Canada. I mean, compared to like other ethnic dishes, like I don't think you find a whole lot of.
Probably the most popular or most common one is Asian, like
Yeah, I
like
mean
Chinese, Japanese,
yeah, yeah.
Korean.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like there's like Indian food. There's a lot of Korean food. There's a lot of Chinese food. I mean, there's not a lot of Japanese food. There's like a bunch of sushi spots, but like those places are so expensive that like it's not like people are going to them all the time, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say there's a ton of Mediterranean options in, or it's just common, more common than other places, other ethnic foods in Canada. But none of those compare to the
The
Mediterranean.
Greek ones.
Yeah, to the Mediterranean food you get in around the Mediterranean Sea.
I didn't ask you this yet, but what was the culture like? If you, I mean, I guess it's too short of a time to really absorb the culture of Greece, but just from like a flavor, like a taster, what was it like?
I don't know how to answer that really because I'm not sure I experienced a ton of the traditional Greek culture. I feel like most of what I did was just as a tourist.
Or I guess maybe like, what's the vibe like? Because, you know, in Japan, when you go, the general consensus is that they're just really polite. They are really service kind of catered. So I was wondering what Greece is like when you try to look at it from that perspective or from that lens.
Well, I think everyone knew that we were tourists, so I'm guessing they like treated us as tourists. But everyone was incredibly chill. Everyone
Yeah.
was super cool.
Yeah.
All the workers that were like servers or whatever that I interacted with, they were all like super nice. Dude, people are good looking in Greece.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Really,
yeah.
eh? Are they all super fit?
Nah, I would say there's like a pretty fair like distribution. Maybe a bit more fit than like actually yeah, I would say they're like more fit than like North America for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like everyone was like jacked. But yeah, I that probably has to do with like their diet, you know, having
That's true.
access to like good fresh food, stuff like that. But yeah, people were like super chill. Everyone's super nice. I'm sure part of that is also like how you carry yourself in
Yeah.
those like situations. Like if you're like an asshole tourist, then you're gonna get treated like an asshole tourist.
Yeah.
But my general opinion was like the people are quite nice there.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed is like people are like everything is like so chill there.
What does that mean?
Like the attitude towards work for the most part is pretty chill. Like when we went to, for example, on Google Maps when you're like looking through places, they'll have like the time that they close by, which usually says something like 3 a.m. or something like that. But that's not a strict or like hard closing time. It's just whenever in the night business starts to die down, that's when they close. So if it's like 3 a.m. and your pizza shop is popping, it's not closing at 3 a.m. You know, it's
Oh,
closing.
okay.
It's closing when everyone comes out.
Yeah.
And similarly, if it's like your closing time is listed at what, like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I keep saying 3 a.m. because a lot of them were listed at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your closing time is listed as 3 a.m. and ain't nobody around and it's like 1:30, you're probably gonna close down shop. Which is we experienced this. This was like a couple nights. I was going into the town with some of the in-laws, and we just wanted to get food. And there was like a pizza place. First of all, everywhere we went to was like closed. It was like 2:30 or 2 a.m. or something. And walked by the Seawalk in Lutraki, and basically everything's closed. There's like a cafe and a bar open, but they weren't serving food. And then we walked over to this pizza shop, and the lady was just closing up. Like she had just closed up. She was about to get on her scooter, and I like tried to open the door. And I was like, oh, and she was on her scooter, and she's like, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
we just closed up. And then she's telling me like, oh, go here. They're open 24 hours.
Yeah. Oh,
She,
wow.
like,
24 hours.
Yeah, she sent us like this casino.
A casino. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there was this like grill food truck outside this casino, and it was 24 hours.
Yeah.
So then we ended up picking up food there. But yeah, because of that, I would say, at least in that town, Lutraki, where we were staying, it felt like the attitude towards like work and stuff like that was quite chill. And also, tipping is not a thing in Greece, which is
Yeah, which
fucking
is something
sick.
I noticed in a lot of places. I think it's a North American thing. Like when I was in Europe, like in Portugal, Paris, I think culture isn't really there unless you're at a very touristy place. And then Asia for sure, you don't tip either. So I think it's like a North American thing.
Yeah, it's a North American scam. Yeah, tipping is the stupidest fucking thing ever conceptualized by anyone.
The only argument against that is that I know a lot of restaurants like base pay is very low, so servers make their money through tips.
Yeah, that's wrong, man.
No, it's wrong. Yeah, it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, and that's why the argument is that they should tip because that's
Yeah,
that's the money.
but you know, we've talked about similar topics before. For example, with music, with these TikToks, that being the new wave and contributing to like deconstruction of music or something like that. You know, it's bringing it down to a lower level than it could be.
Yeah.
Because everyone's participating. And I want to apply that to tipping. You know, by tipping, we're also participating in this shitty culture.
Yeah.
And kind of endorsing it by
Yeah.
participating in it. I guess we're talking about tipping now. And I know this is a quite contentious.
Wait, before we move on,
Yeah.
just to close it off,
Yeah.
why do you think you're a different person after the trip?
Well, you know why, because we talked about this. But
Yeah. To summarize it maybe into a few sentences.
yeah, it probably won't be a few sentences, but here we go. So, in previous episodes, I've talked with you, but not just in episodes, but in private. You know, I've talked a lot about, you know, the identity crises that I've faced. Two big ones in my life leading up to this point. And I guess I never really exposed this. It was just the last one. But, you know, changing career paths, changing goals, essentially not having a goal after my last venture into league and stuff like that, I have felt quite lost.
Yeah.
And I talked about losing confidence in myself, not being that same confident person that I was in the past, because it was tied to this identity and the success that I had and the security that I had in that position. And once I didn't have that, I felt like a completely different person, like not confident, not believing in myself anymore. Basically, imposter syndrome turned to the max. You know, I mentioned my struggles with imposter syndrome in the past. This was basically the ultimate form of it, where I was like, wow, wherever I never really vocalized this, but what I truly felt was wherever I did end up getting in life, it was a fluke. You know, I wasn't actually a fucking awesome guy, which is wrong. I am a fucking awesome guy. Wow, it feels stupid saying that. Yeah, I had this struggle where I basically wasn't happy with myself.
Yeah.
You know, didn't believe in myself. To put it in as simple of words as I can, I basically didn't love myself. And after I went to Greece, you know, a lot of stuff happened with my family, with my in-laws, and I kind of just started taking some risks. Risks I wouldn't have taken before. And what I mean by that is I started being myself more around my family and these people that are new family, because my sister married someone, and, you know, the in-laws, they're family now. And yeah, I basically just started saying and doing things that I knew that I wanted to say and do before, but I was too scared. Yeah, I was scared to say these things before because I was afraid of how it would be received by, like, for example, my parents. You know, vocalizing my opinions to them, even though I've mentioned in the past that my relationship with my parents is quite good now, and it is. It wasn't as good. I mean, it was really good, but now my relationship with my parents is amazing. I don't know if it could get better than this.
Yeah. So it sounds like you had a lot of fear of being able to express yourself and be true to yourself to the ones who are the most closest to you.
Yeah.
And that was limiting your ability to once again be yourself. But you took a dare, it sounds like. Took a step to do that on a trip. and it went well.
Yeah, super well.
Went beyond your expectations. Now you no longer have that burden on your shoulders to try to hide yourself away from the ones you love, basically.
Yeah, totally. It was like I was scared of rejection ultimately. You know, like being my true self in front of my family and these new friends. Honestly, not so much the new friends. It was really just about the family, my immediate family, my parents and my sisters.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I was scared that they would think I'm like weird. You know, if I was. This isn't like some crazy stuff. It was just, you know, in the past, I've had a tense relationship with my parents, and it made it difficult to joke around with them. And slowly I've been like joking around a bit more. And again, I want to say my relationship with my parents, even before this trip to Greece, and my sisters, even before this trip, I had pretty solid relationships.
Yeah.
But now it's just over top that I'm like, this is what I really dreamed of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The kind of relationships that I dreamed of having with my parents and my sisters. I feel so loved, you know, so happy. And I'm not faking I didn't fake anything on this trip. I didn't say things I didn't want to say. I didn't do things I didn't want to do. I didn't fake my personality. I really didn't, as you know, from the things that I told you. I just bared it all, was true to myself. And it went so well, and that made me so happy.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
happy for you.
Yeah.
So overall, it's life-changing.
It was.
Trip, quite literally.
Yeah, this was quite literally life-changing for me. I truly feel like I found myself. The confidence that I had previously was tied to something else, you know, something external, something that I was doing but was not really a part of me. But the confidence that I have now is just in myself. Seeing the reactions of my family to certain events, hearing the things that they say about me. Like I mentioned to you before, how on multiple occasions in these past 2 weeks, my parents talked about how proud they were of me, how good of a son I was to them, how happy I made them. My sisters also, tons of times, which makes me so happy to think about, talked about how good of a brother I am to them. They were constantly saying I'm the only brother I have, but they were saying I'm the best brother and I'm such a good brother. And they were talking, and you know, they told so many stories about times where I came through, pulled through for them, and things that I didn't really think much about or don't even think about it at all anymore. But I think in those moments, you know, when I did those things, of course I wanted them to notice, and I wanted my actions to matter.
Yeah.
And this was like confirmation that my actions did matter, and those things were just me, you know.
Yeah.
And being accepted like that, so lovingly, so wholly, was the greatest feeling of my life. And I'm just I feel so good now. I feel like I mentioned.
I bet you look a lot more. You look happier.
Yeah,
Like, you
don't
look
I?
more
I'm
confident.
smiling all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said to you before, I was looked in the. I'm like looking in the mirror nowadays and thinking, wow, that's a good looking guy. And I wasn't thinking that for a long. Like I used to. You know, when I was super confident, I was like, damn, that guy's hot. That's a handsome looking guy.
Yeah.
But then I stopped thinking that way, and I thought didn't really think much of myself, and now it's like I'm him again. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like a new guy. I feel like that guy, like I was telling you before. I feel like that guy again, but it's not fake. It's just me.
Yeah, exactly.
My identity and my confidence is just coming from within now. I think this is gonna last.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah.
Super happy, super content with myself. Just one quick story. The one I told you about earlier. The thing that really pushed me over the edge, the first risk I took, it was having the first night we were in Greece. It was just my family. The in-laws had not flown in yet, and we were just at dinner. And my dad, we were talking about my past, having like a nice conversation with my parents and my sisters. My dad said something. It was just some random stuff, and I replied with a joke. And before I told that joke, it was like time stopped. You know, it's like when you're playing volleyball, really.
What do you mean time stop? Like, why would time stop?
It was like a crossroads for me, because in that moment, I thought so much. When my dad said what he said, and then I was preparing to follow it up with a joke.
Yeah.
And time stopped because I started thinking, like, this joke is gonna happen. I'm gonna say it. It's either gonna go really well, and my dad's gonna love it, or he's gonna think I'm an idiot, and that's gonna like set the tone for the rest of the trip. And then I fired off this joke.
Right.
Before anyone else laughs, my dad starts howling.
Yeah.
I've never made him laugh. I've never even heard him laugh.
Wait, what?
Well, I've heard him laugh.
Okay,
I've never heard
okay.
him laugh this hard
Oh, okay.
in my life before. Let alone it's me who's making him laugh this hard. And yeah, once that happened, I'm like, I'm off to the fucking races, dude. That was like the dam was open, and from that moment on, I just started taking that risk over and over, saying what I wanted to say, trying to make my dad laugh, trying to make my mom laugh,
Yeah.
and trying to make everyone laugh.
Yeah.
I just stopped holding back after that moment. The whole trip, I didn't. If I wanted to say something, if I felt something, if I believed in something, I followed through with that. If I thought something was the right thing to do, I did that. I mean, this sounds ridiculous, you know?
Does
Hearing
it?
Don't you think? Like, oh, obviously an adult should know right
No,
from wrong
I
and
feel
do right
like
from wrong.
no, I feel like a lot of people in the world who are likely facing the same struggles and challenges. I bet it's pretty common.
I bet it is too.
Yeah.
I think it sounds ridiculous because if you're someone like me in this situation, you think you kind of try to minimize your problems.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it sounds ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. I think a lot of people are probably in the similar situation, and I'm not going to say if things are tough, you start joking about it and rip off some jokes with your parents and see how that goes, because there's a lot of nuance to this. It took a lot of building up to this, but I will say nothing has felt as good for me as just being myself and how I feel now.
Even with your past success with
Yes.
with League.
100%.
Yeah.
Because the person you spend most time with is yourself in your entire life. You know, you're at the end of the day, you're all you've got. You're everything you've got, or at least that's the way I see it. Of course, it's different. Like you have your partner and stuff like that, but just my thinking is you're with yourself 24 hours a day. You know, life is so much harder when you're not happy with yourself for those 24 hours a day. So once you do get there, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the question you asked? I got lost a little bit.
That was essentially the question I asked.
Okay,
yeah,
right,
like
right.
how basically the question I asked was how has this trip changed your life? To be honest, like I did not expect this.
Me neither.
I thought you were just gonna go on a wedding trip, have a blast, come back and just say, oh, the food was good, weather was great, Greece is amazing. But then you come back and your whole identity is like strengthened.
I mean,
your confidence is boosted.
So what's your initial perception of this? So you have not seen me since I came back from Greece. You saw me. We hung out for like an hour before this.
Yeah.
So what has been your impression so far? Am I different? Do I seem different?
Well, you seem happier. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I said this multiple times, but I always thought you were confident, so that never really changed for me. But definitely happier, definitely brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 100%.
I feel that way.
Yeah,
I
That's
really
good.
do. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm faking it anymore. Because I think I mentioned when you brought it up that you still thought I was like a confident guy.
Yeah,
I
100%.
said I'm not, but yeah, I can still be that guy on the outside. You know, essentially faking it because it would be easier for me to fake it.
So you were faking it before.
Oh yeah, totally, man. I'm not. I'm like, what am I supposed to? I didn't find much reason to have that confidence anymore. Because everything was tied, my success was tied to League, my money was tied to League, my conversations were tied to League. Like whatever I did was okay. Maybe not my conversations, but okay, my money and that was my work, and that's a big part of who you are.
Yeah, but I don't think you should. Well, I don't think you have, but I don't think you should blame yourself for feeling like your confidence essentially got demolished after it didn't work out with League of Legends, because quite literally you spent almost a decade
Yeah,
towards that life.
Yeah.
And it came down, falling down, and then that's why it's not a surprise for you to feel that way.
Yeah.
And probably happens to so many people who are chasing a dream, especially in sports. And so, and it's probably such a difficult thing to experience. Like I can't fathom, to be honest, for myself, because I never gone through that position, but I can see at least, or I can try to understand how you feel or how you felt throughout this time.
yeah, and I think the big issue with all of this for me was my confidence. I guess my confidence originally came from that in the first place. I never felt happy with who I was. even growing up, I guess, like there were like external things that gave me confidence. For example, being in student council,
Yeah.
getting good marks. It was those things that, or being good at sports, being fast, playing soccer, playing volleyball, whatever the fuck. Or sorry, I didn't play those back then, but yeah, being in track, doing high jump, those are things that I did, and like being good at those things, that's what gave me confidence. Getting good marks, I think I mentioned, but it was never like about who I am as a person. And the difference now is it is about who I am as a person. I'm proud of who I am, and I'm happy with who I am. I feel good about who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it sounded like you were almost you were living on external validation
I was,
from
yeah.
your achievements. Like you were challenger
Yeah.
for so long. That's something that a lot of people could never fathom obtaining themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but like back when we were in high school, that was a big deal.
No,
That-
yeah,
that
yeah.
was, that was quite important.
I remember telling like friends that you don't know, like that I met later in adulthood, and I tell them about you, and they're like, "What, challenger?" Like, and for me, I don't even know what that means. I was like,
Yeah, dude, I remember there was just a random story. There was like in grade 10, I would like play with some friends, and they would have like some older church friends
Yeah.
that also played League of Legends, and then if they like invited me into like the custom game,
Yeah.
they would all like freak out, be like, "Holy shit, challenger guy, what the?" So yeah, it was a big deal back then, and
"Is it still a big deal?"
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have like a buddy in town that's pretty high rank.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't talked to him in a while, but yeah, I don't know if it's a big deal anymore. Because I look at like the pro live stream. I think it happens on weekends. Back in the day, it was getting like 400K plus viewers, stuff like that
On
on like Twitch and YouTube.
okay.
Yeah, I think combined it was. I mean, back in the heyday, it was probably for the North American League, probably getting like in playoffs, like close to 1 million views, something like
Damn.
that. Yeah, like regular
Damn.
season, probably a couple 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
But like you check now, what the regular season is getting. I don't even know if it's right. I think it's playoffs right now.
What are playoffs? Like, is this the World Championship or whatever?
No, it's just like the regional leagues, like
Oh,
North
okay.
America, Europe. They all have like their playoffs, and then top 3 from playoffs or something go to the World Championship. But yeah, like viewership now sucks. It's terrible.
Is it because there's a lot of other games that are just as popular?
Nah,
Oh.
nah. You know, we should
Oh.
do an episode where I list. I go over all the reasons League of Legends sucks. All the reasons why professional playing League of Legends sucks.
Yeah.
It's controlled by Riot Games, who owns,
Yeah.
owns League of Legends.
Yeah.
And they made so many terrible decisions. They've like single-handedly killed the scene, made it so hard for anyone to break in. Yeah, we totally should do an episode about
Yeah, I'm
all
down.
all the
It's
stupid things.
trash on
Yeah,
the
I
game.
will be able to like answer all the questions you've ever had about League
Oh,
and
yeah.
why this game and the people that run it are so terrible.
So the question, I remember you telling me that the World Championships happen in New York this year or whatever.
Are they? I think they are. Yeah,
Or something
it's
like
in
that.
America.
Because you
Yeah,
went
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
you were in Vancouver for one of the
Yeah,
things.
last year I went to MSI, which is the mid-season. MSI stands for the Mid-Season Invitational, and that happened in Vancouver last year. And I went there with a couple of our friends.
So are you going to New York this year?
I don't know, America's kind of scary, you know. So I haven't been to America. I don't know if this is the right place to talk about this. Haven't been to America in a while.
Yeah.
Had the opportunity to go for a couple things,
Mm-hmm.
but I declined because things are kind of scary over there.
But your sister lives there.
My sister does live there,
Yeah.
yeah. So I am constantly worried about her, and I, keep up with her and stuff like that. I check in with her almost every single day. I talk to her husband a lot too, because they both live in America.
I was in Miami,
Yeah.
I think now a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the airport, there's like ICE officers there.
That's crazy, man.
yeah,
That's crazy. And personally, I'm not a white guy.
yeah.
That scares me.
No, yeah, I
And
get it.
it's
Actually,
not
no,
like
I don't get it, but I can see where you're coming from.
And I mean, I'm saying that as like someone that could like, how do I say this? I look quite Western, I think.
Mhm. Yeah,
And even as someone who looks quite Western, I still fear for bad situations, getting racially profiled,
yeah.
getting caught up in some racist power trip. So if I was someone that wasn't so ethnically ambiguous, I would be even more scared.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, I mean, one of my best friends lives in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
when I asked her about it, she said she wasn't as worried. But that's because she says she's married to the other friend who's white.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, my sister's also married to a white guy, which I mean helps, I think.
Yeah.
And my sister also looks very Western, I think. My oldest sister, even more so than me. But yeah, so will I go to the World Championship? I thought about it. Said like a soft yes to friends. Dude, do you want to go?
When is it?
I think it's usually in fall. So like September, October, November, around that.
If it's September, October, I'll be down. If it's
Okay.
November, I can't go.
Okay.
November, I think I'm planning to go to Hawaii with my wife and my sister and my
Okay.
brother-in-law.
Okay.
But no, I've never been to New York.
Yeah.
So I actually really want to go.
Oh yeah. Okay. Word.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll do that then.
Yeah. But that's only if it's in September, October.
Yeah. Oh, it will be. So the World Championship usually runs from 2-ish months, something like that. Because it's just so long because there's like the wild card qualifiers or like play-ins, whatever they call it nowadays. Then after that, there's like groups. I don't even know if there's group stages anymore. Group stages or like Swiss stage or something like that, and then they get to like the playoff bracket, which is like top 8, stuff like that. And so yeah, the World Championship takes a really long time. So I think usually it's 2 out of the 3 months of September, October, November.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd be down. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Okay. Word. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that then.
Yeah. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh, we're already up.
We
Wow.
are already up. You know, I actually had a whole bunch of things planned.
Okay, we'll do that next.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I was
No,
just went
that's,
on
that's
and
all
on
good.
about
We
my
can save it for
personal
later.
journey finding myself. And
Yeah, no, I had some topics I wanted to talk about just in case we couldn't fill the time. But
yeah,
I think that was a pretty good conversation.
yeah,
Pretty deep, I'd say.
yeah. In case you guys were so busy listening and forgot, Cohen also did a 12-minute solo episode, so don't forget to watch that, to listen to that one.
Oh yeah, it's kind of. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll work out, man. But we should. I kind of like this. Maybe I'll try one of those too.
Yeah, you should give it a try. It's way harder because
Yeah, I imagine.
there's no feedback.
I had no idea you were gonna do a solo episode. I thought this episode, because I was gonna say at the start of the show, I was gonna be like, well, you guys are caught up to us now because we've
Yeah.
recorded a couple episodes that were like
Yeah.
like a couple weeks behind. So now you guys are live with Kanto and like this is actually what's happening in our lives. But I guess we still got some buffer.
Yeah, it was because when you were away, I made the decision to make it twice a week, like Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I might even switch it to Monday to Thursday because
Yeah.
that's like a bigger buffer. You know what I mean?
It
like
is,
Tuesday
yeah.
to Thursday, it's only like
It's only one day in between. Yeah.
So I might do Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll upload the solo episode I did tomorrow, and I can do and I can change the schedule from Monday to Thursday.
I like it.
Yeah.
New episodes Mondays and Thursdays. You
Yeah.
heard it here first from Cohen.
Well, I think that's everything from us. Thank you for tuning in, whoever is listening. I know, apart from my wife, there are actually people who listen to this. So, yeah, we'll talk to you folks next episode. And,
Thank you so much.
yeah, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Peace.